So this this whole video was something that I didn't even want to make until the process was done. And I remember last year I kept saying in December, in December, in December, because December, like New Year's time, was when I was supposed to be completely done with my treatment from Smile Direct Club. So what happened was, get ready, children, because it's a story. It's grab a snack. We're gonna be here a while, okay? And I am incredibly heated right now because of what they just did. So let's back up. Once upon a time, I so in like third grade, I went to a dentist who jacked my ish all up. Okay. I had this tooth right here that was pulled that wasn't ready to be. I'm gonna take my glasses off because the glare, I can't. I don't know if you can't, but I can't. Okay. And the lighting is bad enough. Like this whole I don't even care. I hate when people sit here and they're like, my lighting, my camera, my microphone. Like, if you don't like the quality, bye. Okay. So they pulled this tooth and all of my teeth grew in all kinds of stupid. So I was already frustrated growing up because I had this whack little snaggletooth and I got made fun of all the time for it. And I decided that when I had the ability, I was going to get braces because I straight hated this so much. I could never afford traditional metal braces. And so I waited because I figured either A, I'm going to be able to afford them at some point, or two, technology will improve to the point where I can maybe in the future afford these things. Lo and behold, acrylic braces became a thing. So last year, when I was still living up in Denver, I kept hearing ads for this thing called Smile Direct Club. And I was like, what is that? So I did some Googles and found out that they had an office on 17th Street in Denver, which, first of all, if you've ever driven in downtown Denver, like actually driven your own vehicle, downtown Denver, bless you, because it is hard and it is confusing and it is stressful and I cannot. Okay? So I went down there with the person I was staying with, and she was going to look into it too, but she wasn't able to do it that day. And so I went in and was like, I'll just check it out and I'll let you know. So I had this appointment. We were standing in the parking lot trying to figure out, first of all, just where to park because that was already confusing. It said there was an underground parking area, but then when we went underground, there was no parking anywhere. And so then we had to buy another ticket to like park because you had to buy the ticket to go to the underground. And then you had to buy a ticket if you wanted to park in the actual parking lot. But then the parking lot, the whole thing said no parking. And it was like, why are you a parking lot then? I have so many questions. So we finally figure out how and where to park and everything else. Go inside this building, and it's just a lobby. There's no signs for any kind of building, business, literally anything. There's nothing in there that indicates what this building is even for, okay? So I call because this lady kept calling me. She's like, "Hi, I'm Candace from Smile Direct Club." Her name probably wasn't Candace, but like, does it even matter at this point? So I was like, hi, I can't figure out literally where you guys are because there's no signs or anything. Like, am I even in the right place? And she's like, yeah, just go up to the third floor and we'll meet you there. And I was like, you'll meet me there. I have several more questions, but okay. So I go up to the floor, the third floor, second floor. It does not matter. Okay. I went up to the floor and you go in and it's like this weird hipster like bistro. There's like a counter that has like artisanal juices and like hand pressed paninis because this is Denver. And then there's like a bunch of like hipsters sitting everywhere in these like weird little hipster chairs or whatever. And I'm like, this cannot be correct. There has been some kind of problem. Okay. So I go back downstairs, called him again. Hi, this is Candace from Smile Direct Club. And I'm like, yo, like, where are y'all at? Because I really can't figure this out. Oh, we just came looking for you. You weren't here. That floor is a restaurant. Yeah, meet us there. What? So I go back up. I'm sitting down. I'm just like, okay, everything happening right now. I have a very uncomfortable, just a whole uncomfortable. I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out. I'm like, I don't know if I'm about to get murdered because literally there's still no signs anywhere. These artisanal hipsters are staring at me. I don't like situations like this where I don't know what to do or like there's no information for me to proceed with or without caution. Like I truly don't know what to do. So I'm sitting there and this lady comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, we're closing in 10 minutes." And I was like, "Oh, well, I'm meeting somebody here." And she's like, "Yeah, well, we're closing in 10 minutes. So don't know what to tell you." And a couple minutes later, this lady comes in and she's like, "Hi, I'm looking for Jess." And I was like, "A bingo." And she's like, "Hey, I'm so and so, Barbara from Smile Direct Club. And I'm going to take you to the office." And I was like, "Okay." So I follow her. We get back in the elevator. We go up some more flights of a building. And I'm just like, why couldn't you just tell me to go to the floor to begin with? So we get off on this floor and everything looks like sterile, like an actual dentist's office. But we go the opposite way into a cubicle, like office looking kind of room. And I'm like, none of this makes sense. Literally, none of this makes sense. I feel super uncomfortable. I don't know what's happening. Like, I have many, many questions. But we go in, and there's like all these different cubicles where like some people are like doing their scans and some people are doing like paperwork. And it's just, it seems very like if you went to investigate like an MLM or something like that was the vibe that I got. But I was like, maybe I don't know yet. Maybe something will happen. Something positive and I won't get murdered. So let me grab my old phone actually because I think I have pictures on there of what it was supposed to look like. Like they give you this before and projected after of what your projected smile is going to look like. I hate all of this. I hate all of this to a different level. Okay. So, anywho, so I'm going through and no, I don't have it on here. Is it on my actual phone? So I'm going through and she takes me to this back office that has like a sliding glass door on it. And she's like, "Okay, so we're going to be recording this today. Hope you don't mind." And I was like, "Recording this for what?" And she's like, "Well, if you let me record this, then you'll get your retainer for free." And I was like, I don't understand because at this point I just went in for the consultation. I was not there for the whole shebang, but apparently there's no getting around that. Like you either are or are not, and you apparently just don't get a choice. Yeah, I don't have it on this one either, it looks like. Wow, I'm so good at documenting. So anywho, so I was like, I don't understand, but it's fine. So she goes through this thing and it's like this commercial or something where she wanted to say, "Hi, I'm Barbara from Smile Direct Club. I'm here with Jess, and she's going to be doing her scan today." And she was just like monotone, no emotion, didn't describe anything, didn't explain anything. It was all very confusing. And what got me was like, you could either pay up front and it was like $1,800, or you could do installments and it was $2,200. I did not have $1,800, so I had to do the payment plan. But why is it like $400 more to do a payment plan? Am I getting something different, extra? Like, what's happening? So she takes this thing that looks a lot like the acne sucker that I bought at Walgreens not too long ago. She takes this thing, which PS, if you guys ever see this, the dermasection, I heard it works, but it actually doesn't. She takes this thing and she just shoves it in my mouth. She doesn't wipe it off. She doesn't sanitize it, wipe it on her sleeve, nothing. She just takes this thing, I don't even know if it's clean or not, shoves it in my mouth and starts like rubbing it around and is like digging for gold or something. I truly don't know. Just all around my face. And then it's showing like this 3D scan of my jaws on the screen. And I'm like, cool, because now I can see them up front, like how gross they are. Thank you. So she's like, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to send it, and it's going to get 3D printed, and then you'll get them in the mail. That is like the most basic way of explaining it, but yes. Basically, if you go to the Smile Shop, the Smile Shop, if you go to their dumb little store, they do your little scan kajigger, and then they send that and somehow are able to print you what they call aligners, which are clear plastic trays that you shove in your mouth, and it's supposed to over time fix your junk, which did not happen because hi, how are you? Okay, it's still like if I'm actually like smiling, like y'all see that? That's not fixed, okay? That's not fixed at all. That was like the main concern, and it didn't do anything, right? So a little bit of time goes by. I get this big purple box in the mail, and it's the entire system, sans retainer, right? Because the retainer you get at the end. So it has all of your trays, and they're all labeled. And I had 17 different sets of aligner trays. And they also send you like a little lip balm, some little knockoff EOS lip balm, and then a whitening system where it's like my teeth already hurt because one, they're sensitive, and two, they're being moved around. And you want me to put this whitening stuff on my teeth, you're literally going to just cause me a whole mess of problems. So, like, no, thank you. I would have preferred like a travel toothbrush and some travel toothpaste because they say you have to have your retainers or your aligners in 22 hours a day, which means that you only take them out to eat. And then after you eat, you have to brush your teeth before you can put your trays back in. So I would have preferred, instead of some bootleg little lip balm or some janky little whitening system, something actually useful like travel toothbrush, travel toothpaste. I had to scour the area just to find things like that, like something small enough that I could keep in my pocket at work. I was looking for the one that like folded in half, but couldn't find that. So I had to get one that like you take it out and flip the head of the toothbrush around and stick it in, and that's the handle. It was a whole to do, like truly it was. So anywho, so I go through the motions, I follow the directions. It was every other Thursday, and the way that it lined up at work with being paid bi-weekly, it was every pay week I would change my trays. So I was very, very, very like just on the money about only drinking water and taking them out to eat and, brushing my teeth and then putting them back in and doing all this. And it was taking up time at work and it was interfering with stuff and it was super inconvenient. But whatever, it was supposed to be this big magic thing. So fast forward a little bit and it's like halfway through my treatment, probably June, July, August, something around there. It was like in the summer. So I get a call and they're like, hey, just wanted to check and see how it was going. And I was like, my trays don't fit. And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, literally none of my trays fit. Like they don't go up high enough on my teeth. They're flaring out. So I'm getting like these weird, I don't know how to describe them. They were like irritation lines on my lips. I was getting like bleeding along my gum line where they were like flaring out. Like it was bad. And it's like, I don't think this is normal. Like, what do I do? And they're like, okay, well, we're going to send you a kit, which is the normal kit that you would get if you didn't live near one of their shops. They send you a kit with this like weird putty stuff and these like denture molds. And you mix the putty and you have like 10 seconds to like put it in the thing and shove it in your mouth. And so it was probably done wrong. I don't know. Because they said, okay, well, we're going to analyze this and see if we need to send you new trays. And then I got an email saying, hey, we need to send you like 8 new sets of trays. And I was like, well, all right, cool. But I'm not paying for them because y'all didn't get it right the first time. So they said, don't worry about it. You won't have to pay for it. Like, it'll be fine. This is replacements because, yeah, it was our bad. And I was like, okay, cool. Guess who never got her replacement trays? I didn't. Not one. Not one single replacement tray. Not one. Not one. Not even half of one. Nothing. Literal nothing. And didn't hear back from them, right? So in December 17th was the day that my treatment was supposed to be over, right? December 17th comes, and then so does 2019, and then so does my birthday. And now we're looking at Easter, and I'm like, where is my retainer? Okay, so I kept emailing them and calling them and like trying to get in touch with them. And it was all these different problems, like, oh yeah, we're working on it and whatever. Well, I finally get my retainer, and I'm going to show it to you. I tried to put it in because they said, wear your last set until you get your actual retainer. And then you wear your retainer full time for 2 weeks and then only at night. Here's the thing. The retainer is entirely the wrong size. The whole thing is a scam. Okay. And then I tried to reach out to them to say, hey, my retainer is an absolute farce. Guess who never heard back from them? Just didn't do. Okay. So my trays are gross because I took them out earlier to eat. So, like, fight me. So here is what this looks like. Now, this one is super gnarly because I have literally been having to use this for 4 months. These are not supposed to be used for 4 months. These are what's supposed to move your bones in your face around, okay? This is your retainer, right? So, like, what's the actual difference? Because I'm not seeing one. I don't feel one when I tried to put this in. And these are both for my top teeth, okay? So on this side, you can clearly see this outline right here because when I flip this around and put it in, that's where my snaggletooth is, yo. So you see that there is clearly a bump, and this is my last set. This is 17, right? So for my retainer, that bump is significantly smaller. And I'll just, and you can tell what the difference is. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because what is my life right now? But there's like that little like marking in the molars is supposed to tell you like what set it is. And your retainer doesn't have those, right? So it's pretty obvious that this is the retainer and this is an actual aligner tray. But if you look, just putting them side by side, just okay. Just this part right here blows my mind because this is so pronounced and it's like non-existent here. So that's already a problem. This is supposed to just keep them in place, but it looks like it's supposed to like smooth that out more, but I'm not sure. Here's another issue is when you line them up, do you guys see the difference in like height? So my actual like aligner tray goes back a lot further than my retainer does. You can even see how it like cut off my molars. How is this supposed to keep anything in line when it's not even the right shape? Okay. Also, and I will put this in just to show you how jacked this is for my last tray. All right. First of all, the lisp. If you were not prepared to have a lisp when you get these, get ready because it's coming. And it's not a joke. Like, it literally is so flared out in the back, it changes my speech pattern. Okay. So it is secure. It is in. And keep in mind, I've been wearing these for 4 months. Okay. It's about to get weird. All right. Let me take my camera and I'm just going to show you. Y'all see that gap? What is that? Right? What? Literally, What is that gap? First of all. Second of all, look at the top of my teeth, right? It doesn't even go up all the way. Like, my tooth is in there all the way, like, as far as it'll go, but there is a gap at the top that I told them about and sent them pictures of, but guess who didn't get her replacement trays? Okay, look at this. Like, it's kind of okay over here, and then over here, like, what? Like, up here. Like, what is that? What is that even supposed to be? Like, truly, okay? And then, if I put in my retainer, first of all, it's nearly impossible for me to get this thing in to the point where I can't even use this because it is so short. It doesn't want to stay on because there's nothing for it to hook onto in the back, right? Like, look, I for real can't get it to stay on. It just keeps like popping out in the back. So let's look at this one up close. Look at that gap. Like, come on now. Like, obviously, there's going to be a little bit of a gap there, especially if it's still trying to, like, push stuff into place. This one's not as flared out at the top. But look at that. That is, like, it is completely different. It's like they used somebody else's mouth and morphed it with mine to make it a thing. Like, it's so incorrect. Ugh. It infuriates me. It really does. I don't even know if I can get these out with the and then they send you this weird little, like, purple pick thing that's supposed to, like, pry them out of your mouth, but it, like, doesn't work. It scratches up your gums. It's like I knew having braces was not gonna be a fun time, but I didn't know it was gonna be this big of an issue. Like, ugh. And it's like, "Oh, well, your retainer is gonna be a thicker plastic, and so that's why it takes longer and blah, 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 whatever." But it should not take 4 months extra when you already had 9 months of treatment to get this done and over with. Like, what took you an entire year to get my retainer done? It's not like my mouth just morphed into somebody else's, but apparently you think it did because you can't even get the retainer shape right. Like, okay, fine. So then I get off of work tonight and I was like, oh, I'm going to go put gas in my car. I'm going to get a couple groceries. I check my bank account and it says I'm negative $80. And I was like, how? And I check, and it's because Smile Direct Club somehow pulled a payment out of my empty bank account. Like, I was going to move like $20 from my savings into my checking so I could use it. But I can't because somehow Smile Direct Club stole $80 from me after telling me last year that because I had so many problems with it, just don't even worry about it. Like, it's fine. And now I have money missing from my account. So if you thought that Smile Direct Club was a good idea, if you thought these clear tray braces type people, any of them truly, because they're all the same. It's all the same copycat of one another. If you thought any of them were worth your money, please reconsider all of your decisions that have led up to this point in your life because that's what I'm doing. Okay. They are not worth your money. They are not worth your time. They are not going to deliver what they say they will. They are going to steal your money. They are going to take from you and not deliver on the things that they said that they would. If they did, then we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation. But the fact is, I never got my replacement trays. I was never told that the retainer was going to be an entirely different shape than the aligner trays. I have gotten very little feedback in the last few months since raising a stink about not getting my retainer in the first place. And now they are straight up overdrafting my bank account, preventing me from putting gas in my vehicle, preventing me from getting food to eat this week because they decided that they were going to somehow push through an $80 payment and overdraft my bank. Literally, how? And then they don't want to respond to anything. So please save your time, save your money. If you really, really, really want braces that badly, just save up for them. See if Medicaid will cover any of it. I'm just going to on my microphone. Just see if your dental insurance will cover any of it. See if you can find a dental school that would maybe offer you a discount. See if there's anything you can do to try to save you a little bit of money. Do it on a special. I've seen places in Florida that'll have like dental like braces specials. I've also seen people doing LASIK for like $250 an eyeball, and I'm like, how? Isn't that like super expensive or something? Anywho, just save your time, save your money. Do not bother with these clear aligner plastic tray brace things because one, they don't work, and two, they are not worth it. They're just straight up not worth it. It's not worth the drama. It's not worth the hassle. They are not there to help you. Like, it's obvious that they are just in it for their money, and that's it. Because at the end of the day, if they were really in it to help people, I would have got my replacement trays. I would have had some kind of information as to where my retainer was. I wouldn't have had to keep doing this back and forth with them for 4 months just to figure out where it was and what was going on. So, that being said, I put out a tweet to them asking them why they overdrafted my bank. And then I put out another one saying if I need to get a lawyer involved, I will, because at this point they're scamming people. You're having people pay for a service that you're not delivering on. That's like me sitting here paying for internet, but never actually being able to connect. Me sitting here paying insurance for a vehicle that I don't even have access to. Like, that doesn't exist. It's like me sitting here going to work and never getting paid. Like, it's not correct. It's a scam. Like, through and through, it is 100% a scam. And if they want to prove that they are not a scam, then they need to actually deliver on the things that they say they're going to deliver on. You cannot sit here and have people pay for something and then never get it. It's different than if I was like shopping on Amazon and was like, oh, I'm going to buy a table, and then don't actually read the information on the table. It gets delivered and it's flipping Barbie sized because I didn't read all the information. There is nothing that says that they can just take your money and never deliver on what they say they will. The other thing is when you order something from like Amazon or whatever, it's up to you to read the description of the product before you buy it. I read the description of the service before I signed up for it. They didn't deliver on it, plain and simple. So now we have a whole separate issue where they're out here just scamming people. And in case you like haven't noticed, they've really cut back on a lot of their advertising and stuff, and you really don't see ads for them as much. You see ads for like competitor type of things, like other clear tray brace people. They also like aren't as like prevalent anymore because I think more and more people are starting to realize that they are not delivering on the things that they say they're going to deliver on. Why is my phone going off? Oh. So they said, we would be happy to help with this if we can. If you have an account with us, please send us a DM so that we can assist. Do you know how many DMs I have sent to these people just asking for like basic information about my account, asking them? They kept sending my trays to the wrong address too. That was like another thing. Like, they said, oh, well, we sent out your retainer to this address. And I'm like, I've never lived at that address. Like, where are you getting that information? And then they're like, oh, well, we sent to this address. And I'm like, I haven't lived there in like 10 years. Where are you getting that information? Like, my address, it changed. Yeah, but I changed it on your website as well as with the postal service people. So there shouldn't have been any issue. And then they're like, oh, well, we sent it to your old address. Like, okay, so where's the shipping number then? Because that's a whole nother issue. And then they would just never send the shipping. Like, you're telling me that you're sending this thing to all these different places, but never providing shipping so I can like find out where it's at. Does that not strike anybody as really, really flipping weird? Or is it like just me? I have to get off the internet, like, as a whole right now because I'm literally about to lose my biscuits. I try so hard not to swear on my channel, but truly, this has got me so heated that I, like, can't function because I'm just like, I'm gonna get, like, bank fees over this that I don't have. I don't get paid till Friday. It's Sunday. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't have this extra almost $100 that I can just whip out of thin air and be like, Here you go." Like, that's not they've really, like, truly, they've screwed me. They have screwed me so hard by doing this, by just taking $80 and for what? Because y'all are not delivering on literally anything. That's a serious issue. So, a open letter, if you will, to anyone working for Smile Direct Club. Quit your job. You're working for a scam. Second of all, y'all can either fix this or we can get lawyers involved, which I'm not scared of. Like, we could take this to court. It's fine. That's completely fine. I don't want to get involved with all kinds of drama like that, but truly, I have no problem finding a lawyer to handle this scam because this is just absolutely outrageous. The fact that they would even consider screwing people over to this extent. Like, I'm over it. I'm over people and their scammy shenanigans. So anyways, I'm going to go. This has been a really super fun half hour, but I have to get up early for work tomorrow and bust my buns to now pay off an overdraft from a scam. So thanks, Smile Direct Club. Anyways, I'm going to go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.